Hello everyone, this is Pustak Verma, and today we will discuss about a poem from grade 12 compulsory English new course. It's The Awakening is by Ben Okri. So before dealing with the poem, there are some questions mentioned in our textbook. We will go them one by one. Question A: why do you think people from your country migrate to another country? किन तिम्रो देशका मान्छेहरू अथवा हाम्रो देशका मान्छेहरू अरू देशको लागि माइग्रेट गर्छन्? द आन्सर इज पिपल फ्रम माई कन्ट्री माइग्रेट टु अनदर कन्ट्री फर द फलोइङ रिजन. The first one is for the high standard of living, second one for the personal needs, third for the higher education, fourth for getting employment opportunity, then is fifth for earning currency or money, and the last this is for business purposes. So these are the reason for which many people migrate from our country to another country. Question number B: do people from other country migrate to your country? Why? Is के मान्छेहरू तिम्रो देशमा पनि अरू देशबाट आउने गर्छन्? Is people from other country migrate to my country due to following reason: for adventurous and courageous tasks, for business purposes, for relax and enjoyment, for perceiving suitable atmosphere, and for passing vacations or family holidays, and for religious purposes such as pilgrims. Then about the author Ben Okri, a winner of Man Booker Prize for his novel The Famist Road, the Nigerian poet, fiction writer, essayist Ben Okri spent his early childhood in London. Okri's writing treats his family's experience of Nigerian civil war, for whom everyone's reality is different. For different perceptions of the reality, people need different language. A prolific poet and storyteller, Okri, like in his other works, portrays the hardships of the African people in the awakening age. In addition, he makes a call for the unity, peace, and the solidarity among the human beings from different parts of the world. Then about the poem The Awakening is or the summary of the poem. Ben Okri, a Nigerian poet and novelist, in his poem The Awakening Age projects the sufferings. Mainly it deals with the sufferings, pidaaru, obstacles, abrodharu, and hardships, कठिनाई of the African Negroes, and appeals or calls for the peace, prosperity, happiness, liberations, unity, harmony among the people of the world. He wishes to awaken the whole world and its people from the world of darkness and poverty to the awakening age of enlightenment. The poem has 7 stanzas and each stanza contains 2 lines. As the poem has altogether 14 lines, it looks like a sonnet. It opens with a colloquial words is like oh, a. Then he talks about the journey of the people who travel in the Mediterranean line, have vision of a new world. Here these ordinary travelers may seem suffering and hardship of the people, poor people, and wish to awaken them into the world of freedom, liberation, emancipation, equality, justice, prosperity, and many more of this modern world. Then the poet talks about the optimistic people who are very much hopeful about the woven history of mankind, where they can climb over the hills, throw a rope of hope to obtain a new height. This rope of hope leads people to the age of enlightenment, empowerment, wisdom, equality, prosperity through hard work, creativity, and hardship. He also talks about these 3 things. These are the ways to obtain the enlightenment, empowerment, freedom. The first one is hard work, creativity, and hardships. They have clear heart full of purity and whiteness. Through this finely composed poem with an apt rhyming scheme depict the issues of partiality, inequality, poverty, racial and color discriminations, and he hopes to see the voice of equality, freedom, feeling of brotherhood and sisterhood, arrest justice, unity, and harmony among the people of the whole world. He prefers to see loving place of equality where both the blacks and whites can walk together, joining each other's hands. They will help each other with brotherly and sisterly feelings. This is the author, and this picture also reveals how the Negroes peoples were suffered as this, as the slaves and even as the workers, is how they had the grim poverty in their life is, and the poet wishes to see them in a group is. Poet meditates is, and he hopes to see the bright future of the blacks people is. You hope that the future in the future in the coming days the blacks and white people will walk together. They will stand together. They will walk together like Martin Luther King's have dream in his speech. I have a dream. He wants to see both blacks and whites join each other's hands. They walk together, and is about that he meditates and hopes to as he wants to awaken this whole world into the world of freedom, emancipations, is and even liberations, many more. Then the glossaries, meridian lines, any imaginary circle around the earth that passes through both north and the south poles, raise भनेको violent anger, this harvest the act of cutting and gathering grains and other food crops, awakening is भनेको the new era of lightening and evenness, brightness or enlightenment, perception concept, the sensory experience of the word gain, obtain and acquire. Then about the questions, understanding the text. Question A, who are the people who travel the meridian lines? Ordinary travelers, researchers, or the people who are interested in traveling are is the people who travel in the meridian lines. What does the poet mean by a new word? By the S, the poet by a new word means the word of hope, prosperity, unity, truth, wisdom, is creativity. Question C, how are people connected to each other? People are connected to each other with a sense of hope to achieve clearest light and purity, unity. Question number D, what can we gain after our perceptions are changed? Perception change भएपछि हामीले के gain गर्न सक्छौं? We can gain unity, equality, prosperity, feeling of brotherly and sisterly feelings after our perception are changed. How are we benefited by the new people? We are benefited by the new people as they support us in ascending a new height of hopeful path and receiving a flowering of truth. They also support us by their creative works, wisdom, and creativity. Then question number F. Describe the rhyme scheme of this sonnet. The rhyme scheme of this sonnet is A B B C C D D E E F F G G. It is a mono rhyme, a new sort of rhyme, mono rhyme, a poem in which every line uses the stanzas with AA rhyme schemes, which often appears as AABBCCDD, and it provides rhythms and beautiful musical tone to the poems. Question next, reference to the context. A. What does the poet mean by the awakening age? The poet finds the African people in sufferings and in many hardships. Therefore, he calls for the peace, prosperity, happiness, liberation, unity, and harmony among the people of the world. He wishes to awaken the whole world and its people from the world of darkness to the world of brightness, or from the world of poverty to the awakening age of enlightenment. Question B. Why, in your view, have these people lived with poverty's rage? किन यिनीहरू गरिबीको दिससँग बसिरहेका छन्? In my view, these people have lived with poverty's rage because they are tortured, suppressed, and provided many hardships to accomplish further living in the communities. And they express such a rage due to much suppressions over them. तिनीहरूको बढी सप्रेसनको कारणले गर्दा यिनीहरूले यस्तो फिलिङ एक्सप्रेस गर्छन्. Due to much suppressions over them. Then question number C. Why does the poet appeal for the solidarity among the people? किन उनले solidarity को लागि appeal गर्छन् आग्रह गर्छन्? The poet appeals for the solidarity among the people so that they can be overcome from their hardships, obstacles and sufferings. समस्या कठिनाइबाट free हुन. Unified force is an essential for the liberation and freedom of the people. The poet's solidarity appeals develops the voice of equality, freedom, feelings, and brotherhood, justice, unity, harmony among the people of the whole world. Question D. Does the poet present migration in positive light? Why or why not? के पोएटले माइग्रेसनलाई पोजिटिभ लाइटमा मेन्सन्स गरेका छन्? In the poem Awakening Age, the poet presents the migration in a positive light in the sense through migration they may have the vision of a new world within and they are richly linked in hope. They have positive insights and light through the walking in the right tracks. As they find themselves in very complicated situation in our country, so in such cases, the migration can be a positive light. Through this, they may awake in the age of unity, freedom, prosperity, and ascend a new height. Question E. Nepal is known for its economic as well as educational migrants. Have you noticed any change in the perceptions and behaviors of these migrants when they return home from abroad? Nepal is known for its economics as well as educational migrants. Yes, I have noticed some sort of changes in the perception and behaviors of these migrants when they return home from abroad. They come with money, some technical as well as skillful knowledge. Educational migrants like Mahavir Pun has conducted so many things for the countries like Nepal, even the social works in the remote areas and has connected the people with the internet or communications. We have noticed many changes in the behaviors of people and their business as they return from there. Question F. Relate the rhyme scheme of this sonnet to the kind of life idolized by the poet. A rhyme scheme is a pattern of sound that repeats at the end of the line or stanza. The rhyme scheme of this sonnet is A, B, B, C, C, D, D, E, E, F, F, and G, G. It is a monorhyme, a new sort of rhyme, a poem in which every line uses the same rhyme schemes and a couplet. It provides rhythm and beautiful musical tones to the poem. Through this finely composed poem with apt rhyming scheme, it connects the issues of partiality, inequality, poverty, racial and color discriminations, and it hopes to see the voice of equality, freedom, feelings, and brotherhood, justice, unity, and harmony among the people of the whole world. Thus, by the help of rhyming scheme, the poet hopes to see the idealized life of people and wish to awake the whole world into an ideal world. Question is reference beyond the text. Write an essay on the impacts of migration on Nepalese society. Migration को impact Nepalese society मा कस्तो छ बसाइसराइको. So the essay is mentioned here is migration is often the result of a combination of push factors like conflict, poverty, disasters. यिनीहरू के हुन् त? These are the push factors that leads the people to leave the country and pull factors like employment opportunity. An increasing number of people worldwide are migrating to improve or secure their livelihoods and mountain regions play an important role in this trend. In Nepal, out migration and its effect on livelihoods are the key topics in the scientific and policy debates. Migration is increasing in the middle hills of the Nepal and it has diverse consequences. Parinamaru for the people remaining behind their livelihoods and the way they manage their lands. Migrants eventually induce social, economic, political problems in receiving countries, including it increases in the populations with adverse effect on existing social institutions. It increases in the demands for the goods and services. It displaces displacement of nationals from the occupations in countryside and in the cities. Migrants populations have negative impact on air qualities index pollutions यिनीहरू increase गर्छन्. In fact, migrants populations impacts of migrant population on urban environment coastal increase pollutants emissions. Further, it increase the dependency on the remittances. Low level use of available natural resources, including the land and cultivation, investment on unproductive sectors, and so on. Above all, it has positive impact as well. Migration helps in improving the quality of the life of the people. It helps to improve social lives of the people as they learn about new culture, customs, and language, which helps to improve the borderhood feelings among the people. Migration of skilled workers leads to a greater economic growth of the region. So it has both positive and negative impact. It depends upon the people how they use it. So okay, this is much about the poem The Awakening Age. Regarding this poem, if you have any confusion or queries, you can mention below in the comment sections. If you find the video interesting and useful, please like it, share it, subscribe it, and click on the bell icon to get the notification for upcoming videos. Thank you everybody. Goodbye. Have a good day.